Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Uche with another video. And today I want to talk about why I do what I do, and why I do what I do. To all the people who are new, my name is Uche. I am Nigerian American. I'm a life coach. And in my practice, I focus on Black people, African people, and African diaspora LGBTQ people. I am openly queer. I am Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria. I moved to America as a minor, and I live my life openly as a queer person. And I know that this is something that is very difficult for a lot of people to achieve. You will be surprised how many LGBTQ men and women from the motherland are okay here in America, here outside of even outside of America. The list is long. They're just not talking because of fear of reprimand, fear of being ostracized, and so on and so forth. The list is long. I just happen to be one of the people who just don't give a shit. I'm just living my life authentically, as openly as possible, because I just don't care. A lot of this has to do with my spiritual practices, my philosophy in life, and all those things. But as a coach, I understand that a lot of people struggle. A lot of people don't have the thick skin to be able to live their lives authentically. And this is why I coach. I try to coach people and try to teach them how to maximize their lives now, because now is all they got. This is literally the only time in being that you can be yourself. No one else has ever walked the earth like you or will ever walk the earth like you. And this is literally the only opportunity you get to be you. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever for you to hinder yourself, to limit yourself just because of what this raggedy ass world is saying to you. So that's what I do as a life coach. Now, that being said, I want to talk about why I do what I do. I have traveled the world. Okay. Disclaimer. I know a lot of times my people are very braggadocious. Nigeria is very braggadocious. A lot of times when Nigerians talk about how they've traveled the world, it's usually to brag. Okay. Usually they ain't be nowhere, Chad. They just have like 15 minutes layover in London and they say they travel the world. No, I have traveled the world. I've traveled to over 40 countries, and it's a privilege. It is a blessing. I am grateful to God Almighty for giving me the opportunity, the blessing to be able to travel to countries and cities I never even knew existed on the map as a child. This is how I learn. This is one of my forms of therapy, because I like to learn. I learn from interacting with people. That's by far one of my favorite things to do in life, because I learn about myself. I learn about people. I learn about the world. Okay. I see myself in people, and so on and so forth. Again, this has a lot to do with my philosophy and spirituality. But that's a whole nother conversation. And there are so many Africans in every country, especially Nigerians. I feel like Nigerians are like literally the most common Africans in everywhere in the world. And I have seen queer men and women from Africa who are in the closet, who are DL, who are suffering silently. I'm talking about people in their 50s, 60s, and above. And the amount of loneliness that they wreak is sad. You see, on the outside, they look good. They look proper and prim, especially here in America. Like, they may have their red chieftaincy in the village, and they have their wives and their children, and everybody from their village is like, I have an uncle in Texas. I have an auntie in Atlanta. Everything looks good. But I have the spiritual discernment to see through that superficialness, to see their pain, and that shit is loud. It gets lonely. It gets so lonely, so painful. It could break you. And a lot of them feel so hopeless because they feel like they have missed the mark. They're no longer young. No one is checking for them. Literally, all they have is this fake ass life with their fake ass wives and their fake ass kids. Not that the kids are fake. They didn't ask for it, but like, they're unhappy, and they're literally marching to their graves unfulfilled. And you can see how much pain that they wreak. So much pain and so much unaccomplishment, unfulfilled. That is sad. To my young LGBTQ people, this message actually applies to literally everybody, but I'm focusing on the African LGBTQ people because no one is checking for y'all. No one is checking for us. Literally nobody. Okay? Black people, Black Americans have their voice. White America has their voice. The straight people have their voice. Women have their voice. All these people have their voice. Even disabled people have their voice. But literally not a single person is checking for Black African LGBTQ people. But this message applies to everybody. My young people who are in the closet, or DL, whatever it is you want to call it, it's cute right now because you're young. There's privilege attached to being youthful. There's privilege. Most young people don't think about it, but when you're young, when you're in your 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s, everything looks Gucci. You can walk into a club and turn heads. You can get on Grindr, Tinder, whatever it is, and get swiped, super chat, and super whatever super like or whatever, because you're young. There's privilege attached to it. But unless you work in yourself and heal, All you got is your flesh, literally your flesh. And time will come when that will depreciate in value. When you get older, your skin starts to sag, your stomach starts to, the fupa starts to come out. You will have nothing but an empty shell. Those old people that I'm talking about will become your reality, empty. Do you want that? I have seen this. I have seen this. They would not say that to you. There's something about my energy that a lot of people who are in pain are attracted to, and they confide in me. They're telling me these things. These people open up to me in ways that they would never even open up to their pastors, their wives, their mothers, and their families, because they can feel my energy. They can feel my genuineness. I am telling you this right now. This will be your future if you don't work on yourself right now. Literally right now. This life is not easy, trust me, but you got it. And the only way that you're able to get through it, is by being selfish with your energy. That energy that you're using to waste on a bunch of people that are not for you, a bunch of things that are not for you, a bunch of things that are not for you, doesn't mean those people are bad people. They're just not for you. Conserve your energy and work on yourself. Get comfortable being alone. This is why Jesus came to show the way, by being human, to show you that it's not easy. That man went through so much. They came for him, Chad, to the point of taking his L word. I don't want to say that word here, Chad, because, this algorithm be on some bull. He came to walk that walk. So to show you that you got it too, it's not easy. But you have to be steadfast. You have to work on yourself. You have to be selfish with your time. Stop giving your energy to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Anyone who says they love you, yet cannot accept you for being yourself, the entire package, as in you feel like you have to be somebody else. You have to act white. You have to speak with a different accent. You have to pretend to be straight. You have to be this. You have to be less feminine. You have to be more butch, or whatever the situation is. That is not love. Love yourself enough to remove yourself from people, places, and things that don't have your name on it. If not, that is your future. Look, trust me when I tell you this. This life is not easy. I am in that boat with you. It's not easy. You would never catch me try to be anything that I'm not. And I put this on God. I am probably the only Igbo-speaking Nigerian who is as vulnerable. I'm telling you, you probably would never find another Igbo-speaking Nigerian as honest and vulnerable and direct and blunt as me. I'm just keeping it real, okay? Especially the one who speaks Igbo. Look, forget this phonetics I'm speaking. I was born in Aba. I am blunt, so blunt that I don't give a shit. I've clocked out from this world. I understand that God has brought me to this world for a reason. I'm just trying to get my assignment done and get the hell out of this place, because this place is ghetto, okay? So there's literally nothing in this world or anyone in this world I find impressive enough for me to try to be anything but myself. So this is why I am very honest about it. My people are packagers. Nigerians will package. They will lie to you. They'll pretend that they're living a good life. It's not true. This life is not easy. It's not easy at all. And I'm in this equation with you as well. I done been through all kinds of horse shit. Trust me, and I've survived it. Through God who strengthened me. Do you know how I was able to survive it? By being selfish with my energy. By being selfish with my energy. When someone is not for you, remove yourself from there. Something is not for you, remove yourself from that thing. A place is not for you, remove yourself from that place. Be selfish with your energy. When people truly love you, true love is unconditional. You don't ever have to try to be somebody else. You don't ever try to be somebody else before somebody else will love you. And learn to love yourself. Learn to make peace with yourself. You don't need to try to pretend to be something else. You don't need to try to be white. You don't need to try to talk a certain way. You don't need to try to fake your accent. You don't need to try to pretend to be straight. You don't need to try to be more masculine, more feminine, whatever the situation is. That is not love. Love yourself enough to focus on yourself and work in yourself here now, because now is literally all you've got. Think about it. Literally, not a single soul has ever existed like you or will ever exist like you. You are one of one. Not even one in a million. Like, you are one of your own kind. They may look like you, smell like you, talk like you, but they will never be like you. This world is not our home. We're literally passing by, and we go back home to where we belong, okay? But now is all you've got. And even Jesus came to demonstrate this. If you're a Christian, you need to understand what I'm talking about. This is why Jesus came to show the way, to show you that it's not easy. He went through it to show you that it's not glamorous. But if he can do it, you can do it too. How was Jesus able to get through? By being selfish with his time. Okay, I met an episode online talking about how Oprah, the most powerful black woman on the planet, kept it real. Nobody has more than 10 friends. That's the most powerful black woman talking about that. Same thing too with Jesus. He only had 12 disciples, not a million followers, 12 disciples. Be careful with the people you call friends. Be picky with the people you love, the people you accept in your circle. Be careful, be picky, and take your time to get to know someone. But in order for you to find true love, you need to have true love within your own heart. And take your time and live here in the now. Forget about the past. Don't worry about the future. Worry about the here now. Now is all you've got to be you. Focus on you. If not tomorrow, that loneliness is going to be your future. I have a whole tattoo to remind me. See, look, when life gets dark and hard, I have a whole tattoo to remind me that now is all I've got. Now is all I've got to be Uche. Now, this is it. Not tomorrow, right now. I leave no stones unturned. Every single day I do my best. I'm human, I'm flawed, but I know God is with me every single day because I don't want that to be my future. Focus in yourself. Learn to love yourself unapologetically, and the right people for you will come. People you don't ever have to be in a closet for. People you don't ever have to tiptoe around. People you don't have to ever try to speak with a thick ass accent or try to do something that doesn't even sit with your spirits. You don't have to do none of that. That shit is heavy. You don't need to do that. Focus on yourself and work on yourself. If not, loneliness is waiting on you when that youth wears out. Uche, peace and love.